The Dragon Realm Chronicles. Chapter 1, The First Flame. 12-year-old Aryan had always known his dreams were strange, but nothing prepared him for what started happening just 2 weeks before his birthday. Every time he shut his eyes, he was transported into a vivid, majestic land ruled by towering mountains, crimson skies, and enormous flying creatures, dragons. At first, he thought they were just cool dreams, the kind boys his age would brag about. But these dreams had smells, the musky scent of sulfur, the warm fragrance of singed wood. They had sounds too, wings slicing through air, thunderous roars, and whispers in a language he didn't recognize yet somehow understood. Each night, the dream continued from where it left off. In this world, Aryan always woke on a floating island high above an endless sea of clouds. And waiting for him there, every time, was a small dragon with emerald green scales and playful amber eyes. It introduced itself telepathically. "I am Zephra, your guardian." Aryan wasn't scared. In fact, he felt at home with Zephra. They raced through the skies, met dragons of all sizes, and explored a sprawling city carved into mountain cliffs called Dragon, the heart of the dragon world. Chapter 2, The Warning. One night, the dream changed. A thick fog blanketed Dragon. The usually vibrant dragons were tense, whispering among themselves in frightened tones. A massive figure hovered above the royal tower, half dragon, half man. The creature's wings were jagged, his eyes a blazing red, and he wore a crown of bone and flame. "The Dragon King has awoken," Zephra said, her voice trembling in Aryan's mind. Aryan frowned. "But I thought he ruled over this land already." Zephra looked up solemnly. "He ruled long ago. But he was not always like this. He was once a wise human named Kael who united humans and dragons. But greed corrupted him. He fused his soul with that of a black drake to become immortal. Now, he seeks to enslave every dragon and turn our skies to ash." Aryan swallowed hard. "Why am I seeing this? Why am I even here?" Zephra hesitated before replying. "Because the prophecy of flame chooses a human child, once every 1,000 years, to restore balance when the realm begins to burn." Chapter 3, Waking in the Real World, or Not. Aryan awoke gasping, his sheets soaked with sweat. He stared at the ceiling of his bedroom, heart pounding. But something was off. The fan above his head wasn't spinning. The walls glowed faintly blue. And the air, it was too warm. Aryan sat up. His room was gone. Instead, he was in a vast cave lined with glowing crystals. A stream of molten gold flowed beside him. Outside the cave mouth, he could see dragons flying across pink and orange skies. He was really in the Dragon Realm. Zephra flew in and landed gracefully in front of him. "You've crossed over, Aryan. It is no longer a dream. The time has come." Chapter 4, The Trial of Scales. In the Hall of Ancients, the dragon elders gathered. They were massive beasts, each representing a different element: fire, ice, lightning, stone, shadow. Aryan stood before them, feeling like an ant in front of a volcano. "He is untested," growled Ignar, the fire elder. "A human child cannot stop Kael," hissed Shavira, the shadow matron. But Zephra stepped forward. "He has heart. And the bond we share proves he is chosen." The dragons debated, and finally, Aryan was given a trial of scales, a series of 3 challenges to test his courage, wisdom, and loyalty. Challenge 1, the Flame Gorge. Aryan had to pass through a canyon filled with wild flame drakes who were hostile to anything that moved. Using Zephra's speed and a clever trick involving reflecting light off a crystal to blind them, he made it through. Challenge 2, the Mirror Pool. Here, he faced illusions of his worst fears, being mocked, abandoned, and watching Earth burn. He held on to the memory of Zephra and pushed through the illusions, shouting, "I am stronger than my fear." Challenge 3, the Trust Leap. He had to leap off the tallest cliff in the realm without knowing if Zephra would catch him. He hesitated, but then jumped. Zephra swooped under him at the last moment, laughing through the link. "I will never let you fall." Chapter 5, The Burning Throne. News came that Kael was gathering enslaved dragons to destroy Drakensra. The final battle loomed. The elders gave Aryan an ancient artifact, the scale blade, forged from a fallen star and the fang of the first dragon. It could cut through any magic, but only if wielded by someone with a pure heart. The plan was bold. Zephra and Aryan would fly directly into Kael's fortress atop Mount Vorgan while the dragons staged a distraction. They flew through firestorms, past corrupted sky serpents, and finally reached the Black Spire, where Kael sat on his throne of bones. He stood as they entered, at least 7 feet tall, with a horned dragon skull covering half his face. His voice echoed like a cave collapsing. "So, the child arrives. Do you think you can stop a god?" Aryan lifted the scale blade. "You're not a god. You're a mistake that needs to end." Chapter 6, Man vs. Monster. The battle was brutal. Kael's breath was fire laced with black magic. His claws tore through stone. Aryan fought bravely, dodging with Zephra's help, landing strike after strike, but Kael wouldn't fall. Then Kael grabbed Zephra and flung her aside. She crashed into a pillar, unconscious. Rage consumed Aryan. The scale blade blazed white-hot in his hands. He sprinted, leapt off a ledge, and drove the blade into Kael's chest. For a moment, time stopped. Kael looked down, shocked. Then he let out a scream that shook the skies. His body cracked with light and then, shattered into a million embers. Aryan collapsed beside Zephra. Chapter 7, A New Dawn. When Aryan awoke, the sky was clear. The corrupted dragons had been freed. Drakensra sang with joy. The elders bowed before Aryan, calling him the Flamebearer. "You brought hope to a dying world," said Ignar, bowing his fiery head. Aryan smiled and looked at Zephra. "We did it." But just as he was about to celebrate, Zephra said softly, "It is time to return to your world, Aryan. You are still a boy there. You have much to grow into." Chapter 8, Home Again, or Not. Aryan awoke in his bedroom. Morning sunlight streamed in. It felt real. The fan spun above his head. But on his desk sat something that hadn't been there before, a single emerald dragon scale. And when he picked it up, he heard Zephra's voice faintly in his mind. "Until we fly again." Epilogue, The Dreams Return. Aryan still dreams of dragons, but now he knows they are more than dreams. He trains his body and mind during the day and flies through the skies by night. One day, he knows, he'll return to the Dragon Realm. Because the balance of realms isn't kept by warriors or kings. It's kept by those brave enough to dream.